afternoon from the farm. I mean, what kind of husband makes his wife do the tilling? I mean, my goodness. She's having a little trouble. Well, I'm busy doing my thing too, so Rosemary has to do the tilling on her own. Let me show you what I'm up to. Hey, guinea guineas. Intruder alert. As you can see, I'm out here cutting hay. I took a break to let the tractor cool down. It's something that I've felt necessary with the old equipment I run. I don't want to burn out an engine or run out of hydraulic oil or anything like that. So I'm always checking things, and sometimes I get lucky simply because I've double checked, stopped and checked. You never know what may be leaking with old equipment. Looks like things are cooling down, so I should probably get started again. But let me just say a word about hay cutting and how much I don't like it, I guess. For starters, I mean, look at my tractor. This tractor is more than half a century old, and you never know quite what is going on half the time. The steering sometimes gets sticky, sometimes the heat goes up. You know, this is the thing with old equipment. But small scale farming, if I were to buy a new tractor, I would be in debt for the next 25, 30 years just trying to pay it off. So you have to make do with equipment like this and learn that it's temperamental and work with it. So I have my tractor here. I have my New Holland disc bine as well. Runs pretty well, but it is about the max of what this tractor can handle, and I think that's thing number one that I don't really like about cutting hay. It's that the equipment could break, and I could be left with a field of hay, half cut and nothing to do with it, and the rain comes in and it gets ruined. So there's a risk. There's the working with old equipment. And then even if everything goes right, well, look at all this. It's all lying there, drying. I'm looking at the forecast. The forecast looks good. I mean, 10% chance of rain the next few days. But even while I was cutting hay this afternoon, the rain chance for Saturday evening went from 40% up to 50% up on the National Weather Service website, which may have changed the calculus of whether I should have cut hay or not. It's something that I look at with nervousness. You need several days to make this work, especially if the temperature goes down like it's supposed to. So that's another thing that I don't like about cutting hay. I've got 3 chances to do this every year, and if the hay gets rained on, well, it's not going to be as good of quality. It's going to lose some of its nutrition. It's going to be harder to dry because it'll be plastered to the ground. So ideally, hay does not get rained on. I need that dry window to make good hay. So all the more reason, I guess, to pray. But again, this is, I guess, a reflection on why farming is such a good profession for gaining a respect for reality, I guess. Let me just issue just the smallest of philosophical reflections as maybe the heart of this video as I show the process of cutting hay. I can't control the weather, and only to a limited extent can I control the machinery. I'm dependent on divine providence, on God smiling upon this endeavor or telling me that I need to offer up some rather minor suffering if you think of the things that are going on in the world. You're totally reliant on God. And the fact is that really we all are. our modern lifestyle, it's so controlled. We have roofs over our head, the food's in the grocery store, the paycheck comes in every 2 weeks for most people, and you get the idea that you control things, but in fact you don't. Farming is good because it gives you a grasp on reality. We are not in control. We really aren't. Haymaking is illustration number 1 of that. on. Actually, I'm just thankful that everything worked the way it was supposed to, at least for today. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? The hay is in rows, and it's green right now, but I want you to look closely at these stems. The conditioner on the back of the cutter has 2 rolls in it, and the rolls have bumpy edges. They're rubber with bumpy edges, and as the grass rolls through those, it is broken. And you can see that this is the case with all this grass here. It's going to help it dry, because as the grass tries to respirate and draw moisture in, it's going to desiccate. It's going to dry out a lot more quickly than it would if I were just to have cut the hay with a cutter and let it lay. It's one of the ways in which the drying time is lessened, but we're still looking at, well, today, Wednesday, Thursday, God willing, I look at it Friday and see how dry it is, put it in rows with the rake, and get the other side to dry a little bit, and hopefully bale this. You know, I mentioned God's providence earlier in the video before I finished cutting. God also helps those who help themselves. I did look at the forecast. It's fallible, definitely fallible. And I also hedged my bets. I only cut half my hay, so if it doesn't work out, I will be able to bale this and either feed it if it's decent, or even use it as mulch on next year's garlic, and pray that the next cutting goes well. Well, this is another type of hay mowing that is happening out here. Look at these little guys. These are the babies, and I have them out in the area that was garlic, and then that I had planted in rye, and where eventually I'm going to plant Brussels sprouts. The rye came up so nicely this spring that I thought, well, I'm going to have to brush hog it before I till it in. So why not just have the goats out here and add a little fertility? With the late harvest for Brussels, I'm well within the rules for food safety, you know, with the animals out here in the field, so long as this fence is hot and they stay in this part. But they've eaten down this first part. I need to move their fence just a little bit so they have access to some more grass, which is a little lusher. They're good at their job. Turn that off for sure. They haven't figured it out yet. Fence is up. It's not on! You can come through! Clement has to feed Max, who's guarding the babies. Wanted to show you the difference they made in the week they've been out here. Here, take a look at this. Here's the line. Can you see it? On this side, they're goats. And out here, no goats yet. Goats. No goats. So as you can see, the goats really do eat the rye down. They're getting benefit out of it. I'm getting benefit out of it. The field is getting benefit out of it. It really is nice to have animals out on the land. It does good for everything. Let's see if we can't get these goats to figure out there's better grass over here though. Hey you guys, can I chase you? Can I chase you over there? Go look. Go look. You're friendly. Some of them are friendly, some of them are lazy. You lie there and eat, you silly goat. Oh, you're wondering if I'm actually going to come. Here, go that way. Go look. Go look. Some of you go. Some of you had better go. There we go. Look at that. my goodness, they're so well trained to the electric now. The fence is invisible and they still won't broach it. Well, I give up. They'll figure it out eventually. The pickings are starting to get lean over here. Feeding the dogs must be a tough job. What are you reading?
Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys. Oh, those are good books. All right, and Max has his food. This horse trailer provides a nice shelter for the goats when they're out here, and it comes with nice cubbies for putting a dog so that the goats don't eat his food. Don't worry, he'll get out as soon as he's done. That's why Clement's still here. Well, that's about it for tonight. There's the hay mowing with the machine, and there's the hay mowing being done by the animals. Will I be able to rake it and bale it before the rain comes? Your guess is as good as mine. You'll just have to tune into the next video to find out. God bless. That's it for tonight. Stay dry. Pray for no rain. I certainly am.